All right. Well, I am Austin Martin, and I am here today to tell a little bit about my story. I graduated from Rimrock about a year ago. Um, so I guess I'll just start. My childhood was uh, really good, actually. I was born into divorce, like I was telling you earlier, but my parents they all got along, and I got four brothers and one sister, and we all just played all day long, and it was a good childhood. But music has always been a big part of my life, and so I became obsessed at a very young age. I used to watch Elvis Presley do his thing, Michael Jackson. I used to try and imitate them in the mirror all the time. George Strait. I mean, the an eclectic, um, you know, music collection, I guess, if you could say that. But anyway, so as most people know, in the music industry, drinking and drugs are normal. So I started partying probably right when I was about 19 years old, and I did not quit partying until 3 years ago, and I'm 35. So uh, every night, it started off with every night just drinking, and then, you know, mix a little cocaine in there, and then pretty much any drug you can think of, I was doing at one point. And then I went on tour because that was the smart thing to do is to go on tour as a 27-year-old addict. And then I proceeded to drink and do as many drugs as I could on the road until I basically spiraled. It got so bad to the point where, nobody would talk to me. My whole family wasn't talking to me, and I was trying to, hide my drinking and drug use for many years. I was pretty good at it, but I think there's better. But it got really bad and really dark. I don't know how dark I want to go, but I checked myself in to Rimrock in 2022 because I had tried so many times over the years to stop drinking, because drinking was my thing. You know, I would drink and drink and drink, and then I would do as many drugs as possible. So I couldn't stop by myself, and I tried AA, and that didn't work for me, which is, everybody's different, I found. You know, for me, it was I needed the accountability. I needed to be coming in. I was coming in 3, 4 times a week at first. You know, just I mean, the first time I came in, I was shaking so bad from the DTS that it was like, I don't know. I remember the first day checking myself in felt a lot different than the last day. Like I was down at rock bottom when I checked myself in, and then uh yeah, it just takes you actually wanting to change. I think I had what did it for me, which is not I'm not suggesting this for anyone. I'm hoping my story can help some people along the way, not doing it how I did it. But I was on tour, and I was in Macon, Georgia, and I got into this cowboy bar fight, basically, in an unknown town. Uh, yeah, just I mean, as wasted as you could be. And I had gotten kicked off of that tour because of that. And, then I continued drinking. So I drank pretty much for the next 6 months. And when I drank, it wasn't just like at night, you know, it was like I'd wake up with vodka and whatever beer I had, and I'd pour the vodka in and I'd start my day like that. So, as you can imagine, my brain, my personality, my everything was completely different. You know, like I was a completely different person. So when I kept drinking and would get into fights and people hated me around town, and like we talked about, Billings is a small town. So everybody knew who the shitter was, you know, walking around town being a shitter. So one thing led to another, and then I got a DUI, and then, you know, there was some stuff found in the car, and Dad doesn't even know any of this stuff, by the way.
Cut that out.
Yeah, cut that out. You know, and I got arrested, and basically it was, I had to make a decision whether I wanted to pursue my dream or drink. And that was a hard decision, believe it or not, because I love to drink booze. I really do. And I'm sure everybody watching this can attest to their love for their addiction because it's a hard thing to quit. But I will say that it was the best decision I ever made in my entire life. And that's the reason why I know, me personally, I will never drink ever again. Rimrock helped me, you know, get the help I needed, like for medications too, because I think I was self-medicating a lot because I had really bad anxiety all the time. I still struggle with anxiety a little bit, but I have got the help I need now where it's not even a thing anymore. It was every day, all day. So I'm really thankful for that. I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying before that?
Rimrock helped you get the medication you needed.
Oh yeah, Rimrock helped me get the medication I needed. They helped me with, you know, the things like everyday things. Like if I was going on a plane, there's like breathing exercises you can do, or little fidget fingers with your hands, or like grounding yourself, which is things that I would have never known of, you know, before Rimrock. I never went to a therapist or a counselor. My therapy was in the bottle, and you know, like I just was, you know, wild, just pretty much breaking the law just because. But yeah, so anyway, it was a very, very hard decision for me, which now thinking back, it's like that sounds dumb to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really not a hard decision, but it was. I get it though, because it's hell after you quit. You know, like you feel like a piece of shit. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I felt awkward in social gatherings. I couldn't stay out longer than 30 minutes. I was pissed off at the world all the time. Everything pissed me off. And my family pissed me off. My friends pissed me off. Why I wasn't farther in life pissed me off. Which Rimrock also helped with that too. Again, the accountability thing for me was a big deal. Like the law hadn't told me that I had to come to Rimrock, which I'm thankful for, but they could have, absolutely. But I still chose to P-test because for me, I knew that would hold me accountable because I've tried everything else and I could not get straight. So, you know, and apologize if I'm jumping around. This is the first time I've ever really talked about it, so there's like new things coming in.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just was like, I went down and I didn't want to. I think the hardest part is like, you don't want to go through that bullshit. You know, it's so much easier to stay in your addiction. But it's not though at the same time. You know, I didn't want to. I knew that the work ahead of me was going to be tough. but looking back, there was nothing even close to what, hangovers would be, or trying to work through your family liking you again, you know. So it all, in hindsight, it's crazy that was even a question to me, but it was. I really would have preferred to just been a drunk, you know. And but now I am 3 years sober. I am living my dream life, honestly. I was, I do music full time now. I make a good living. My family loves me again, which is huge. Because every addiction always spirals, whether it's in the first couple of years or the last 3 years, but it always comes around. And when you are, I would just lay in bed and there would just be beer cans. You couldn't even see my carpet. I mean, it was just like, it was insane. I would just drink and then throw it and then grab another one, and then I would always set my alarm for 1:30 a.m. because I needed to go to the liquor store, because if I ran out, it was really bad. But my point being is that, when you don't have family or friends that like you anymore and you don't like you anymore, that's a dangerous spot to be in. And it was a dangerous spot for me to be in. I've probably been to the hospital, the ER, I don't even know, 8 times probably, maybe more, 10 times, just for, going too hard, you season up. Yeah. So anyway,
What's it been like on the other side?
Huh?
What's it been like since sobriety?
Oh my God. Well, like I said, the first 2 years was hard. It was hard, but it wasn't near as hard as the hangovers or the chaos. It has been like, at first it was, like I said, I was mad at the world. And then it was like, okay, I'm starting to get somewhere. Like then all of a sudden, like little wins, like even just showing up for appointments on time. You know what I'm saying? That was huge. I was like, wow, look at me. I'm like adulting. You know what I'm saying? And it has been so incredible, the difference. I mean, I was working on music basically my whole life, and nothing started happening for me until the last 3 years. It's just been incredible. I don't feel sick when I wake up. I feel, my brain and even my music writing has been so much better, because you think I used to think I can't write without booze or coke or anything. That was like what sparked my creativity, but that was just the addiction in me telling me that. Because ever since I quit drinking, it's been the best music I've ever written, and it's the farthest I've ever made it in this business. And I'm very thankful, because I probably should be dead or in jail, probably. So life has been incredible. I mean, every day I wake up, I can't even believe I'm in the position that I'm in right now. And I am here because I feel like I owe it to myself and Rimrock, because this place really helped me. It really, really did. And I just chose to do the one-on-one counselor thing. I really like my bed, but it helped me, and I was here for 2 years. My counselor would say, I think you're doing well. Do you think you need it? And I was like, oh, I think I need to be here still. And so I stayed with her 1 more year, and then, we worked through some stuff, and I think it just takes an open mind. discount anything she said. Like if you know, she would tell me to do those little hand tricks, grounding yourself. I'd try them, you know, because I just wanted to be better, and I want to help other addicts in recovery as well. Because what I did find out in my 3 years of sobriety is that addiction is not a curse; it's a superpower, and all you have to do is quit and take the steps. And so I would like to, you know, tell my story and help as many people as I can, because that shit is not easy to quit, and it's not even easy to admit that you have a problem. You know, that was probably the hardest part for me, and then it was, you know, just hiding it. But ever since I quit, it's like every new day is like a miracle now. It's just every day is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not, you know, seizing up or shaking from the DTs in Iowa, you know, going to it was just so bad. So yeah, I mean, if there is just even one person I can help, because Steve-O said this in an interview that really stuck with me. And he said, every addict in the world doesn't wake up wanting to be an addict. And that really hit home with me, because that was so true. You know, I was crying every day. I hated myself, you know, and I never cried till the last 3 years. I mean, like, I was suicidal, but I just could not stop by myself, which is crazy. But I mean, when you're, you know, you have substance, your brain is, I didn't have any discipline. I didn't have any, you know. So that always stuck with me, because, yeah, once you say it that out loud, like, every addict doesn't want to be an addict, is a pretty powerful statement. You know, well, why the hell do you keep doing it? That's the slippery slope of drugs and alcohol. I mean, that's what it is. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then, I don't know much more.
All right.
Can I use the restroom real quick?
Yeah.